Hey guys, MD Prepper here. Another knife review, talking about one of my favorite lines of low-cost blades, the Cold Steel Pocket Bushman. Now, I'm sure any of you out there in the survival, prepping, camping, hiking world know about the Cold Steel Bushman. The standard Cold Steel Bushman fixed blade. Excellent one-piece blade, very reasonably priced at 25 bucks. Well, they eventually came out with this little folder here along the same lines. It's a different blade, different style, etc., but they put it in the Bushman line just because it's such a great beater blade, is what I think. And you say, well, this is kind of huge for a folding knife. Yeah, it is, actually, but that's okay. Not everybody can carry a fixed blade in every situation. Maybe you don't have the space or the storage or whatnot. This is not a bad option. I do prefer my fixed blade Bushmans compared to this one overall, but this has a place. It is not a bad blade. There are a fair number of negative reviews out there about this one, talking about durability and the action of the lock back here, the ram safe lock. I've not had that problem. I know they had some issues with the early designs that have been fixed with some of the internals. No problems at all for me. This is my clean one. I don't use too terribly much. Use a little bit. Got another beater one out there. Let's go over the stats of this thing. Blade is 4.5 inches long, which is more than long enough for any general purpose you're going to need out there. 10.25 inches overall, so it's quite large, quite a big handle on it. So 3.5 millimeters thick. The steel on the blade is different than on the frame, the handle that grips. The blade is German 4116 stainless. The grips here, the handle, if you will, the wraparound, is 420 stainless. Again, it's 420 stainless, so that's not the best. Well, I don't care. It's stainless steel. It's sturdy enough. I'm not beating this part. I'm beating this part. That's fine. Cuts down on cost. Weighs in it a fairly reasonable 6.1 ounces. Not a bad blade at all. Again, this is kind of a niche market blade. Not everybody's going to need this, but I like it. I think it's interesting. Let's just show you the blade here up close. Nothing real fancy, just a very basic blade there. Flip side. See that there? Clip point, etc. Got a little thumb stud there to open things up. I think this blade's a little too large and, in my opinion, a little too stiff to use that thumb stud. I'm not going to use that way. This is not my pocket knife, okay? Now, you can reverse this. There's a little screw here on the back side. You can release the thumb stud, flip it around if you wanted to, if you're lefty or draw an opposite way or something like that. Whatever, that's fine. But very nice little blade, single piece uni-frame that's folded around here on the grip. Let me see if you can see that. Rolls right around. There you go. Fits the hand just fine. Even if you've got big giant bear paw hands, you're going to get a decent grip on this. Nice choil here for a good grip on it. Going to cut down a little bit on your ability to grip up on it for finer work. It's not quite as comfortable for that, but you could. But that little angle there, I kind of worry about my finger slipping up. So this is for general, well, it says heavier use, bigger kind of project, prying, feather sticks, etc. You know, check the Cold Steel website because they always have vids, and they have a pretty decent vid on this thing. Ram safe lock is very different than your standard locks on any kind of folder I've ever seen. Not as easy or quick to fold up and close down, but again, a blade this size, you're not looking for a pocket knife to flip out real quick and flip right back. With the ram safe, you see this little lanyard here on the back side, you need that on there. You're going to have to keep that if you're going to use this thing effectively. Basically what you have to do is you have to pull back to get this thing to release. So you pull back on this, and let me try and do it here on the video. Kind of hard to do. Moved away from it. You pull back and apply pressure. Come on now. Make me look bad. You pull back and that releases it. And then it closes. Flips open fairly easily, but not quite as easy as you want to with that little thumb stud. I think that thumb stud probably would need to be moved a little farther up on the blade. A little better traction. Flips open. Pretty stiff. You know, not real smooth on that, but doesn't need to be. But again, to break it down, you pull back and flip it like so. Very sturdy. Not going to fold up on you by any way by accident. And there you go. Now, I know a lot of people said these things fall apart on them, but what I've seen from those reviews that I've read is people will pull on this backwards, I'm not going to do it, before they disengage, or engage rather, the blade. You're not supposed to do it that way. The instructions, which it comes with wrapped around the blade, tell you not to do that. They tell you can open it just fine. You only use the ram safe pull to close the thing, okay? So people are pulling on this thing when they don't need to, okay? We're guys, we don't like reading instructions, but darn it, read the instructions, okay, before you badmouth the thing. Got a small little clip here, not the biggest in the world, that's okay. Can be reversed and put on this other side for whichever side carry you want. I don't see the clip as a major advantage to this, just being as large as it is in the hand. Maybe you got some cargo pants or something like that and you want to keep it from flipping around or flopping around, that might be fine. With 420 stainless, I've had a little bit of corrosion on the handles just from carrying and use and whatnot. Might be able to see that there, maybe not. Not tremendous, would come off fairly easily. It's got more of a matted finish here on the grips. Just a nice shiny steel on the blade. The durability of this as a folder, you say, well, a folder's not nearly as good as a fixed blade. You're right, it's not. But this is fine. This is probably as strong of a folder as you're going to find for general purpose beating and all of that. I got some great videos of batoning with this thing, which you could do easily. And they got this thing with a 250-pound weight on the backside and it still won't fold up on you. So 250 pounds, that's a lot. This is going to be fine for general purpose. You know, would I prefer a $10 Mora? Maybe for that kind of task, but this is, again, a niche blade. Not everybody needs this for every task, but just as a backup blade, something to have around with a larger size blade, just to pull out when you need it for general purpose. There's nothing wrong with this. You make good feather sticks with this. You know, all your basic camp chores, it's going to be big enough to do the job. Again, sturdy enough steel to get the job done as well. Price point, 28 bucks, 30 bucks, something like that, give or take. Depends on where you look around. I like it a lot. You know, they make these blades economically for Cold Steel. No problem with that. I think the grips are fine. It might be a little better if it had a little more checkering on it or just something for a little more grip if your hands are wet or sweaty. I kind of worry about it a little bit, but I'm not real worried about my hand slipping up on the blade. I'm worried about my hand slipping back using this thing. Just the way it's designed. Not a major complaint though, honestly, for something this price. Nice blade, like it a lot. Have not used it as much as I probably should have. Need to carry this as a backup more frequently, and will do so. And probably do some more reviews once I get my property out in the woods and do things right. But not a bad blade. It's not exactly in the same line as the rest of the Bushman series, but definitely worth picking up. I would not necessarily believe all the negative reviews that I've heard out there. Again, just not quite accurate on their use or design of pulling this little ram safe lock on the backside. I like the ram safe. It's kind of nice. It's odd to get used to. It really is. It's just not quite natural for your standard draw and pull. But nothing wrong with it. Very similar to the Kudu knife from Cold Steel that takes some use with that ring lock, which is apparently quite popular in the Arab world, but I don't live in the Arab world. Never dealt with that. Once I got used to it, I liked it a lot. Very nice, durable blade for the price. So, same kind of goes with this one. For about 30 bucks, I think it's worth picking up. If you don't already have a standard Cold Steel Bushman, you need one of those too. Use this one as your backup to it. The price point, you don't have to feel too bad about beating it up. So, decent blade. No complaints at all. MD Prepper, out.